You're watching NBC4, working for you. Live from the area's leading news station, this is News 4 at 10.
Our time right now is 10:30, kind of hazy sunshine out there this morning. We're pulling back from the Jefferson Memorial. See the Washington Monument there in the distance. Good morning and welcome back to News 4 at 10. I'm Joe Krebs.
And good morning, everyone. I'm Barbara Harris. And let's get the latest weather and traffic now. We'll start with Tom Curine in Storm Center 4. Tom?
Good morning, Barbara and Joe. A beautiful morning underway. We started off rather on the cool side. Temperatures were in the 50s pre-dawn as students got ready to go off to school. But now it's warmed up into the low and mid-70s around the region. The afternoon high should peak in the low 80s and still low humidity in place. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a touch more humidity, but still pleasant into the mid-80s. And Wednesday and Thursday, rather humid, highs mid-80s and partly sunny with morning lows in the upper 60s. Looks like on Friday we'll have a partly sunny sky, a little bit hotter into the upper 80s. And Saturday, increasing clouds ahead of a cool front. Looks like it'll be moving in Saturday night into Sunday. Could trigger some showers and thunder on Sunday with the highs in the low 80s and morning lows in the 60s. And that's the way it looks this late summer morning. Barbara and Joe.
Okay,
right,
thanks.
Thank you, Tom. Shall we take a look at traffic, see how things are moving on the roadways?
Hey, Jerry.
Hi.
Hello there. We will head out and about and see if we can come up with anything. And really, things are moving along fairly nicely, and that is good news. Here we are in the Beltway north of town. Right side is the outer loop from New Hampshire Avenue around toward Silver Spring, Bethesda, moving along nicely. Left side is the inner loop. The only construction on the Beltway right now that we're aware of is both directions on the Beltway between Old Georgetown Road and Rockville Pike, so it might be a little slow there. Over to the VDOT cameras we go along 66 inbound on the approach to the Roosevelt Bridge, all cleared out for the morning commute, moving along very nicely indeed. Barbara and Joe, back to you.
All right, thanks, Jerry.
Thanks, Jerry.
A military judge hearing evidence about the alleged abuse of detainees at Iraq's Abu Ghraib prison is pressing the U.S. government to speed up its investigation. In Mannheim, Germany today, the judge warned that delays could derail the case against at least one of the accused soldiers. The alleged ringleader, Charles Grainer, experienced 2 setbacks in court today. The judge refused for now to bar evidence obtained from his computer, and the judge refused to move Grainer's eventual trial out of Iraq, saying the motion is premature. Grainer is among 4 soldiers charged with abuse who is facing hearings this week. Specialist Megan Ambul's case is scheduled to be heard later today. She is from Centerville, Virginia.
Well, new fighting is reported in Najaf this morning, where there was the sound of explosions and gunfire. Shiite insurgents loyal to cleric Muqtada al-Sadr continue to hold the Imam Ali shrine, and negotiations for its handover are dragging on. Najaf residents say that the insurgents fired mortars at U.S. troops for more than an hour, and Americans responded with artillery fire. Some Shiites say the outer wall of the shrine was damaged in U.S. attacks last night, but the U.S. military denies that. And an American journalist is free this morning, 10 days after he was kidnapped in Iraq. These pictures were reportedly taken as Micah Guerin, learned that he was about to be freed. Guerin was kidnapped back on August the 13th while making a documentary on archaeological looting. His captors had threatened to behead him, but they issued a statement saying that they reconsidered after learning that Guerin was a journalist. Rebel cleric al-Sadr also issued a plea for Guerin's release. After his release, Guerin said he would like to stay in Iraq to finish that documentary.
Big changes could be coming to the Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA. The head of the Senate Intelligence Committee plans to meet today with members of the Bush administration. Kansas Senator Pat Roberts has come up with a plan that would strip much of the nation's intelligence gathering operations from the CIA and put them in the hands of a new national intelligence director. The plan would also remove 3 of the largest intelligence agencies from the Pentagon. The Washington Post says Roberts' plan is endorsed by 8 other Republican members of the committee, and we expect to learn more about the plan later today.
Well, questions about John Kerry's military service continue to dominate the campaign trail, and now a prominent Republican and war hero is chiming in. Reporter Brooke Hart has more.
In Long Island Sunday, John Kerry shook hands and smiled, even as his wartime record in Vietnam drew new critics, including former Republican presidential nominee Bob Dole.
I respect his record, but 3 Purple Hearts have never bled that I know of. I mean, they're all superficial wounds.
Kerry still carries shrapnel in his thigh from one of those wounds.
Kerry is lying about his first Purple Heart.
Scrutiny of Kerry's service intensified after this ad by the group calling itself Swift Boat Veterans for Truth, charging that Kerry lied in his reports about the enemy fire that won him medals. The Kerry Edwards campaign has released a counter ad.
George Bush denounced the smear.
On Sunday, one of the group's veterans stood by his claim but said he had no proof.
I have the fact that I wasn't wounded in that 5,000 meters of fire that he wrote about in here. I do not have a single document.
Democrats want the White House to pressure the group to pull the ad.
Mr. President, the clock is running.
And the Bush-Cheney campaign tried to distance itself from the veterans group, dismissing one of them as a campaign volunteer.
Is the ad dishonest and dishonorable? Do you condemn it?
Tim, I'm not focused on this specific ad. I'm focused on the issues we face.
Top among them, who's best able to navigate the U.S. through a new war, with credentials as commander-in-chief a central debate. Both sides face considerable risk and advantage in keeping Kerry's military record hot on the campaign trail. Bush supporters raise questions about it, and Kerry's rally to his defense. In Washington, Brooke Hart, NBC News.
There's new information this morning from the commission that's investigating the September 11th attacks. It says the visa application submitted by the hijackers should have raised some red flags. Commission staff members say most of the hijackers' passports were not properly filled out, and at least 2 had what they call detectable lies. They also say 3 of the hijackers had Saudi passports that had what they call an extremist indicator that often seen on the passports of al-Qaeda members. However, they're not saying exactly what that indicator was.
Well, with gas prices going up, hybrid cars are getting more attention, but which one is most popular with car buyers? We'll tell you that answer coming up in the Washington Post Business Report.
And we're also going to find out what's going on at Wrigley Field. Stay with us.
You know what surprises people most about Jenny Craig's Ultimate Choice program?
It's less than I used to spend on fast food and lattes.
It's so convenient. It's almost like having a personal chef. Jenny Craig's Ultimate Choice gives you personal support with simple ways to lose weight even when you dine out or travel.
Do you know what losing 50 pounds feels like?
I lost 111 pounds. Now I'm half the mom and twice as much fun.
Get a free 14-day trial plus the cost of food. Limited time offer. Call 1-800-JENNY20 now.
Have you been hurt on the job? Do you qualify for workers' compensation benefits? Find out by calling the lawyers at Chasen & Boscolo. At Chasen & Boscolo, we understand the needs of injured workers. You need money for medical bills and lost wages. You need to know that there is help for you and your family. If you've been hurt on the job, call the lawyers at Chasen & Boscolo, 1-800-728-5898.
Our time now, 10:39, as we look at a live picture of the Potomac River on a beautiful day here in the nation's capital. A little hazy out there right now, but sun definitely getting through, and the temperature 74 mild degrees out there. Welcome back.
Good morning. Authorities are expecting to soon hear a ransom demand from the thieves who took 2 paintings from an art museum in Oslo, Norway yesterday. One of those paintings was Edvard Munch's masterpiece, The Scream. The paintings were worth tens of millions of dollars and are not insured against theft. NBC's Donna Friesen has more.
It was a daring theft. 2 armed masked men barged into this crowded Oslo gallery and yanked 2 paintings from the walls.
I looked down the corridor, and about 10 feet away was a man holding a gun, brandishing a revolver, pointing it at all different directions.
A tourist snapped these photos of the thieves tossing the paintings into the back of a waiting car. They are Edvard Munch's masterpieces, Madonna and The Scream, an image so iconic it is one of the most reproduced in the world, valued at upwards of $20 million.
It is either going to be held to ransom, or else it's going to be used as collateral for some kind of illegal dealings in the underworld.
But it's too famous for thieves to risk selling, which could be the key to its eventual return. Donna Friesen, NBC News, London.
And that art theft in Oslo is causing some concern in Paris. Experts at the Louvre say they are taking extra security precautions to protect the Mona Lisa, perhaps the world's most famous painting. A recent report on security at the museum indicated some lapses. The museum's director ordered the study after a painting by Jean-Baptiste Camille Corot was stolen. They say the problems have now been corrected.
Well, the city of Chicago says it will decide by noon today whether the Cubs will be able to play their one-day game at historic Wrigley Field. Concrete has fallen from the upper deck of the 90-year-old ballpark at least 3 times since June. Nylon netting has now been draped underneath the upper deck to protect the fans, And the city's building commissioner, Stan Katerbeck, says that the netting is not enough and the team will have to find a permanent solution if games are to be played at the stadium next season. Cubs officials say it's impossible to fix the crumbling concrete now, but they will do a complete repair job after the baseball season ends.
In other news, DC's Capitol Children's Museum is now closed. It's moving to L'Enfant Plaza, to a facility that is yet to be built. Saturday was the last day the museum was open at its old building on 3rd Street Northeast. For the next 3 years, the Children's Museum will be a museum without walls.
You'll see the National Children's Museum at many more community festivals and local neighborhood events. We have a very comprehensive outreach program that will be going into schools starting spring of 2005.
Several organizations have agreed to accept the museum's exhibits and collections while the new facility is being built.
Well, the more than 1,200 species of animals in the United States have now been designated as being endangered or threatened, and the Washington Post says that just 3 of them have the District of Columbia listed as their home. One of them is the symbol of our nation, the bald eagle. Another is the Hayes Spring amphipod that's found in Rock Creek Park. Now, it is a tiny crustacean that looks a little like a shrimp with legs of dental floss. I don't think that's a compliment. The third is the eastern cougar, but it hasn't been spotted in the district in 200 years, and it's believed to be extinct. Even so, the Fish and Wildlife Service still listed as endangered, or at least missing.
In action.
Yeah, apparently.
I haven't seen one. We turn now to the Monday morning business news.
Well, let's go to Jessica Doyle, the business editor of WashingtonPost.com. Hello, Jess.
Hi, Jess.
Hi there, Barbara and Joe. Well, a decline in oil prices is helping Wall Street to build on big gains last week, though buying interest today isn't that enormous. Right now, the Dow is up about 4 points and the Nasdaq's up about 5. In overnight trading, the Nikkei started the week with a rally. Stocks in Tokyo added 71 points. Google's management got a very low grade in a report card of corporate governance. Institutional Shareholder Services gave Google the lowest score of any company in the S&P 500 based on its governance practices. Google is expected to join the S&P 500 soon. The Financial Times reports that ISS says Google gives too much power to insiders and doesn't have stock ownership rules in place for executives. Also, ISS slammed Google's compensation policy. Out of a possible score of 100, Google got a 0.2 in terms of corporate governance. A prominent Washington restaurant has filed for bankruptcy protection. Galileo currently has $3,000 in cash but faces $2.5 million in debt. That includes a claim by the district for more than $1 million in unpaid taxes and penalties. Owner Roberto Donna plans to keep Galileo open for business during restructuring of its parent company SER. Donna says the Chapter 11 filing does not reflect a drop-off in demand for tables. Who's winning the war of the hybrids? The Toyota Prius and the Honda Civic have similar fuel-efficient technologies, but it's the Prius that's ringing up stronger sales by turning more heads. A car researcher tells the Post that the Prius has become a fashion statement, with drivers calling it a cooler-looking car. Last month, a record 5,200 Priuses sold in the United States. Honda sold only 1,900 Civic hybrids, down from a peak of 3,100 in May. Today, Weight Watchers is taking on Atkins by rolling out a new program to help dieters count their carbs. It's the first major change in its diet plan since 1997. The new Weight Watchers plan organizes food by category, allowing the carb conscious to track the amount of carbohydrates they're eating. The rise in popularity of Atkins and other low-carb diets has hurt attendance at Weight Watchers meetings for the past year and a half. Jenny Craig has also seen a drop-off. It, too, will launch a low-carb plan coming next month. At the box office this weekend, audiences turned out for the prequel to the 1973 horror blockbuster, The Exorcist. Despite weak reviews, Exorcist: The Beginning opened in first place, but in a sign of poor word of mouth, ticket sales dropped sharply from Friday to Saturday. For the first full weekend, it scared up about $18.2 million. The new comedy Without a Paddle opened in second place with $13.7 million, and Princess Diaries 2 wasn't far behind, dropping to third place with $13.2 million. Now, Joe and Barbara, the first Exorcist made about $200 million in theaters, and Exorcist: The Beginning looks like it has a long way to go to match that.
It sounds like it. And you know, if you're in the food business, you've got to get into the low-carb business, haven't you? Because everybody's doing it.
It seems to be the case, though people are saying that the low-carb popularity peaked in January, but still about 7% of the United States is on a low-carb diet right now.
Yeah, I thought that it was almost over. It was on its way down.
Yeah,
it is on
but I
its
just
way
saw
down.
a new low-carb section in my grocery store, which I hadn't seen before. So,
well, better late than never, I guess. Okay, thanks, Jess.
Takes a little while to respond to a trend like that, I would imagine.
In News for Your Health this morning, news about mammograms and false positives. Researchers in Norway say that they studied 83,000 women who had mammograms every 2 years, and over a 20-year period, 1 in 5 had a false positive test. The researchers also say 6% of the women had unnecessary surgery after a false positive. Their study is published in the Journal of the American Cancer Society.
People with central nervous system problems such as cerebral palsy or multiple sclerosis often suffer spasticity, where muscles are in constant contraction. In addition to being disabling, it's also very painful. But now a new implantable pump can deliver medication that eases that problem. Dr. Max Gomez explains.
Kids with cerebral palsy have suffered a brain injury at birth that makes it difficult or impossible for them to control their bodies. Walking, talking, and other body functions can be a little or severely impaired, even though they often are completely normal intellectually. Amy Tootin was born 10 years ago, severely premature, weighing less than 2 pounds.
Her limbs were tight, so it'd be hard to move her arms and her legs. Her muscles were spasms. Her legs were tight, so she'd be hard to change.
Worse yet, that muscle spasticity could be very painful. Then about 5 years ago, Amy had a special drug pump implanted that has made a huge difference in her life.
She just seemed more comfortable with herself. And I think she has learned some more motion also. She can control her arms a lot better than she could.
The pump has a refillable drug reservoir, which is attached to a thin catheter that's implanted in the spinal canal, delivering medication directly into the spinal fluid that bathes the affected parts of the central nervous system.
The benefits are tremendous. It overall affects the quality of life by affecting the nervous system, calming down the spasticity and making them more relaxed, more comfortable. They're more coordinated.
Now the FDA has approved a new and improved version of the pump, thinner, lighter, yet with a larger drug capacity, reducing the need for uncomfortable refills. So today, Dr. Weiner is replacing Amy's pump with the new one, which being smaller makes it easier to implant and more comfortable, which should continue to help Amy.
She slept better, just seemed a little happier.
I'm Dr. Max Gomez for NBC News.
We'll get the latest on our weather and traffic still ahead.
And what does it cost to lose weight? A look at dollars and diets.
Of all the places in daytime, there's no place like it.
Hallelujah!
Ellen's season premiere week starts September 6th. Next Ellen, Antonio Banderas, and music by Alanis Morissette. Ellen.
Today at 11 on NBC4.
Many people have applied for Social Security disability benefits and been denied. Has this happened to you? I'm Roger Greenberg, and my law firm, Greenberg & Betterman, represents people like you who are disabled due to a serious medical condition or injury, can't work, and are worried about how they'll get by. If your disability benefit claim was filed with Social Security and denied, you may still be entitled to benefits. Call Greenberg & Betterman at 301-589-2200. We understand the needs of the seriously injured and disabled. Let us try to help you.
My experience at the amusement park was not nice. I couldn't even get on the rides with my children.
When I looked like that, I would have never wanted to wear a bathing suit. Now, I can't wait to wear one.
I have lost 47 pounds in only 19 weeks, and I feel amazing. I have energy to shop.
After 7 days, I knew it would be a program for the rest of my life. My brothers and sisters think I look like a totally different person. Nothing tastes as good as being skinny.
LA Weight Loss Centers. Call for your free consultation. 1-800-526-SLIM.
Leave it to the place for cutting-edge power and high-tech power to bring you the latest cleaning power. Kinetics, a line of Dirt Devil vacuums exclusively at Best Buy. The effortless Kinetics self-propelled bagless vacuum. The ultra-powerful Kinetics wet-dry cordless hand vac. And the Kinetics turbo bagless vacuum with swivel casters and onboard tools. Put cleaning power in motion with Kinetics vacuums at Best Buy. Nothing escapes the power of a Dirt Devil.
Tonight on News 4 at 5. The buzz is about this new device that claims it can remove stains in clothes before they go in the laundry. Liz Crenshaw asks, does it really do that? Tonight on News 4 at 5.
Beautiful picture out there this morning, 74 degrees, 51 minutes after 10 o'clock this morning, kind of hazy skies. Good morning, welcome back.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, a lot of people who embark on weight loss plans often end up losing most of the weight in their wallets. Audrey Laganas looks at several diet plans and helps you decide whether they're worth the money.
I have more energy than I've probably ever had.
Matt Cantillon and his wife Susan Boyes are a much smaller couple these days. Susan lost 20 pounds and Matt lost 70.
My blood pressure is the lowest it's been in my entire life.
But they didn't drop all that weight without dropping some money.
We were spending $30, $40 a week on special foods, carb-free bread and the carb-free this and the carb-free that.
So what does it cost to go on a diet these days? We checked prices for 3 major plans. The Atkins diet includes a book, about $8, the cost of low-carbohydrate, high-protein food, optional specialty foods ranging from $1.50 for a candy bar to $10 for a package of shakes. Weight Watchers, the membership is $10 to $13 weekly, plus your own food and optional specialty foods ranging from $2 for a power bar to $7 for a pack of shakes. And Jenny Craig, the membership starts at $199 for 6 months, plus required Jenny Craig food, about $10 to $15 a day. If you want to cut some of the financial fat out of these diets, Johnson & Wales nutrition professor Marianne Eaton suggests replacing specialty foods with do-it-yourself versions.
These are Weight Watchers products. They're about $2.99 a package. You can produce in your home quite simply for probably about $1.25, $1.50.
For high-protein diets,
my suggestion would be if you're going to follow something like that and you need to buy the higher-priced protein animal products, is probably get them in bulk.
You never ever forget that you're a member of Weight Watchers. I can relate to
you get the meeting experience, which is a powerful, powerful thing.
Weight Watchers spokeswoman Kathy Campilio, who lost 72 pounds herself, says you can save money with Weight Watchers at work, which some employers pay for, or another option, their online program.
I think when you put a price tag on your health, it's hard to do that.
She points out Weight Watchers frozen foods are not required.
But the smart ones are a great, convenient, quick way to stay on our program.
We help them plan their menus.
Jenny Craig spokeswoman Faith Hansen, who lost 20 pounds, says the cost of Jenny Craig includes one-on-one counseling.
We work with our clients to personalize it based on their needs.
There are regular discounts on memberships, but bottom line, you have to buy the Jenny Craig food.
It's a convenience for clients who don't know how to plan their menus or just don't have the time for it.
And there's the Bible right there.
And that brings us back to Matt Cantillon, now on his own plan, a $14 calorie counting book from the U.S. Department of Agriculture and a $55 a month membership at the local Y.
I write down everything that I eat and I tot up the calories that I eat every day. We spend about $60 a week on groceries, period.
Audrey Laganas for NBC News.
Time for a round of weather and traffic.
Let's go to meteorologist Tom Kierine. He's in Storm Center for Tom. Good day for a hike outside.
Yeah, and anything else outside for work or play. It is a delightful Monday here in Washington. Our temperature now 74 at Reagan National. All around the region, we're well into the 70s now, but it's a dry, mild morning. We don't have a lot of humidity around after the morning fog dissipated. Just a few clouds popping up here and there. Otherwise, lots of sunshine pouring down. This latest view from space. And throughout the day today, we'll have plenty of sunshine. Just a few clouds around. Afternoon highs climbing into the low 80s. Another beautiful day tomorrow. In the morning, we may have some patchy fog again in the mid to upper 60s. Afternoon highs into the mid 80s on Tuesday afternoon. Then as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, looks like it'll be a touch more humid and afternoon highs reaching the mid 80s with partly sunny skies. End of the week on Friday looks like we'll stay dry, although it'll still be rather humid, but no rain showers around. Highs may climb into the upper 80s on Friday. Saturday looks like we'll have increasing clouds with highs reaching the mid 80s. That'll be ahead of a cool front coming through Saturday night and into Sunday, and that may trigger some showers and thunder. Now let's check our traffic. Good morning, Jerry. How are we doing now?
Tom, we're actually doing fairly well. Good morning, everyone. Let's head over to Northern Virginia. Take a live look at the VDOT cameras. Here we are along Interstate 66 near the Dunn-Loring Metro. Left side of your screen is the inbound traffic headed for the Beltway. Top side there, the right side of your screen westbound. Both moving along nicely. One more stop, go to Prince George's County. Check out the Beltway near Route 50. Both directions looking good. Barbara and Joe, have a great day, and we will see you in the morning.
Okay, you too.
See you, Jerry.
Let's take a look at some of the stories you're going to be hearing about later today. Detectives will be canvassing the area around the 400 block of Shepherd Street in Washington, where a 12-year-old girl was wounded by a gunshot back in May. Police are still looking for information to solve that case.
The Prince George's County Board of Education holds a public meeting tonight at the Sasser Building in Upper Marlboro to talk about the Quality Schools Program Strategic Plan. That meeting begins at 6.
And in Montgomery County, School Superintendent Jerry Wiest and County Executive Doug Duncan take part in a pedestrian safety program. That happens at 12:30 this afternoon at Kennedy High School. New laws are going into effect about school bus and crosswalk safety.
And stay with News 4 to get live reports from Athens on the Summer Olympics. We'll have reaction to today's gold medal matchup in women's softball, plus a whole lot more coming up.
And we'll be following up on several stories making news this morning. We'll be trying to find out what led to the murder of a man near DuPont Circle early this morning.
We'll also, of course, be following the search along the Potomac River for a man missing since last night. He apparently went into the water near the Old Anglers Inn about 7:30 last evening. The search last night turned up nothing. You're looking at live pictures right now from Chopper 4 on the search that resumed about 8 o'clock this morning.
And that's News 4 at 10 for today. We thank you for being with us, and we invite you to tune in for more news at 4, 5, 6, and then later this evening.
And Barb and I will be back tomorrow morning at 5. We hope you'll join us then for News 4 Today. Until then, have a wonderful day.
See you in the morning.
Bye.